So today we're going to talk about exactly how people, regular everyday human beings, can get hijacked by an evil spirit, by the enemy. Let's talk about it. So recently I watched the movie Aquaman 2, and there was a part of the movie where Black Manta um, found a weapon called a black trident. And once he grabbed a hold of it, he was able to hear and see, this evil, spirit, this ancient evil spirit, he was able to hear, and he took a deal from that ancient spirit to behold power that would help him to, um, overcome Aquaman. And that is a prime example of how people, everyday humans that we deal with every day, how they can become hijacked by an evil spirit. They may start out to be genuine. They may start out, being a pleasant person, being a good person, having good intentions, goodwill, pleasant experiences, all of those things. You may start out having just a normal, regular, pleasant experience with this person. But at any moment, if there is a part in them that that harbors jealousy, that harbors envy, that has a hint of ill will towards you, um, any type of, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Any type of addiction, anything that the enemy can use and can work through. If that person harbors anything of that sort, the enemy will use that and will hijack that person, because that person will, on a spirit level, they will take a deal with the enemy. Whether that deal is, if they treat you a certain type of way, then they will have a certain amount of power. If they, you know, do certain things, that will give them a certain amount of power. If they, whatever the case may be, it's usually the thing that they are promised, so to speak, quote unquote, is some sort of power. So they may make that deal subconsciously. Now, this is all on the spirit level. That's not saying that it happens over a long period of time and this, that, and the third. On the movie, in a split second, once he held that black trident on the spirit realm, he was having a conversation with that ancient spirit, and that he gave the ancient spirit permission to take him over so that he can carry out whatever that mission was, which was to overcome um, Aquaman. So if he overcame Aquaman, he will have the power. He will have just as much power. So this ancient spirit promised to make him powerful. And that's what happens. The enemy will promise to make people powerful, and they agree to allow the enemy to take them over. The enemy can't just take them over. They have to be hanging in a low vibration, in a low energy, in a sinful, lacking confidence, lacking faith, um, jealousy, envy, um, addiction, if they're hanging out with anything low, if they're harboring anything low, then the enemy can take hold of that. And that's what happens. If you haven't seen the movie, go back and watch the movie Aquaman 2. Look at the Black Manta and see the moment that the Black Manta had taken the Black Manta held that black trident and how he was overcome by the ancient spirit. And from that moment on, once he accepted the deal with that ancient spirit, he was overcome by it. He turned into a completely different person and started doing things that were out of his norm. Where the scientist, I can't remember his name, but the scientist was looking at him a little odd because he was just doing odd things. He knew odd things, he just became obsessed on that mission in taking down Aquaman. So this is how everyday people that you and I both know, that you and I both deal with, that we see, that we speak to, that we, whatever, that you deal with on the average basis. If they are harboring any type of low fruit, the enemy will see that as an entryway, will offer them a deal. If they accept that deal, which most time they will, because when you're hanging out in that low fruit, when your limbs are hanging that low, power is what you want. When the enemy offers you power, will you accept?